Welcome back to the Dota 2 Asian Championship coverage brought to you by Discord Esports, and we're going to see Game 3 of Secret versus Vici Gaming. Guys, when I was talking after the first game, I was asking, is Secret a team that's going to be faced by the big loss in that first game? Clearly didn't happen. Now, I had to ask another question. Is the only way to beat Secret having a super fantastic game against all odds?
Was that against all odds, though? I feel like Vici Gaming were leading the game.
They should have won that. I'd say in like 40.
They made a couple of mistakes, and itemization-wise, not the best. But yeah, I think if Vici actually have the most important thing is a very good draft that works very well. They can actually win it. Not against they don't have to have like an impossible game to be able to win.
Okay. What you're saying is that the game 2 draft was not too good then?
Execution-wise, probably.
Yeah.
And LD said that they actually tweeted something that they didn't mean to pick one of the heroes. They misclicked.
Really?
Yeah, LD
that's what he
said it just now.
Which hero? I mean,
I
what
don't know.
does the drafting
We don't
interface look like? Okay, so what heroes could they possibly have wanted instead?
Yeah.
Do you have a screenshot of
when
that?
I don't know. Bounty Hunter's agility, so it couldn't have been a bounty hunter because there's like no other agility.
When I look at
support.
their heroes,
Doxer?
probably
Darkseer might be.
maybe
the co-op. I don't know. Everything feels like they have a plan for it, like the Darkseer and the Bounty.
Yeah.
and
The bounty here, yeah, but I don't know.
Okay, I'm just.
Do you want to check which heroes were picked?
Here
Oh,
we
you're
go.
gonna
I'm
look
just
at the.
finding
Oh,
the draft.
you're taking a look at what could have been misclicked.
Bounty Hunter's next to Naga.
No.
Great last pick for
Yeah.
Yeah.
Naga support.
I don't think it was a bounty hunter because it's too far away from any reasonable hero.
Yeah.
But the misclick doesn't mean that it has to be next. You could just click wrong.
So it's
That's
like suddenly
so
sneeze and be
unlikely.
like, what?
They picked the Wisp, they banned the Wisp, and they picked the Quap like very in quick succession.
Okay,
so
so
that might have been.
So it probably be some.
Is Quap next to anyone?
But
Lesh
it
Invoker
doesn't make sense.
You know that to actually
wanted
pick,
that
you have to
Warlock.
click on the hero and then you
I
have
know.
to pick.
I know,
It's very hard to.
It's a two-step
misclick.
process.
Yeah, and you're not even losing bonus time by not insta picking because you get
it
it.
happens though. Sometimes you think you actually click and you're talking. Okay, I'm gonna pick this hero, guys. Oh wait, I actually got the wrong one.
When you looked at their lineup, it made total sense.
Yeah,
So I would
it-
actually be surprised if any of them was a mispick.
What
But then again, maybe they built their lineup around that
What
mispick.
could
like,
have
oh shit,
been-
now we have this hero. we have
Yeah,
this
what could have been a hero that they actually picked wrongly? It just felt everything was.
Yeah.
It made sense to
And
me.
even if they did, I think they have competent players on all their heroes. Their lineup made sense. I would still agree. I would still argue that the biggest problem of their draft is that Lycan doesn't get enough farm. I think he could have been on par with Bristleback in farm if they prioritized that. I still think they could have shut down the Chen with just Bounty Hunter alone, just him. They don't need to Iron Shell shenanigans. Ultimately, they delayed Rubik by I don't know how much. He still got a pretty fast
10 minutes,
6.
level 6.
Yeah, that's still pretty good. So
Yep.
all in all, I think they just wasted their time, honestly. It was a cute
Okay.
play, didn't work, and should have probably farmed. Because I like him with 5k gold more there. He has BKB when it really matters. He got it late. And then even if he gets called, I don't think Bristleback can kill him during the call. All the other heroes have no damage.
Fair enough. And let's not waste time either ourselves either because the draft is underway. Let's take a look at Game 3 of Vici Gaming versus Secret. Whoever loses this is by no means out of the tournament. If you ask me, whoever loses this proceeds to go and win the whole loser bracket.
Seems likely. Especially because they won't have best of ones. They're so far in that it's best of 3. So even if you have an off game, you can still come back. That's the ultimately scary thing is if you have a hard winners bracket game and you go into losers bracket best of 1, which is, for example, IG, who played
Right.
Secret. They lost as they should based on power rankings and how the tournament's been going. They're playing a best of 1 against LGD later today. That has to be scary.
That's going to be interesting. We do see Vici Gaming banning the Chen and the Axe. Team Secret, first time they banned Venge and Lion. Second game they banned Venge and Bat Rider. We'll see what they decide to ban with the Venge this time.
I think they might ban Shadow Fiend, actually.
Tide. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Because
Or the Tide, yeah.
Because on
Good call.
Dire,
Yeah.
they do the Venge Tide a lot. Like even though there's no Venge, but yeah.
Well, Vici Gaming is going to take the Bat Rider. He said, well, you let me through it. This is the first time.
Is this the first?
Yeah, the first game was Vici Gaming banning the Bat Rider against Secret, which we were asking is like, is there a point? And then the second game, it was actually Secret banning the Bat Rider.
It's the first Bat Rider pick in the main event.
It's also
I mean,
the
for
first.
VG, it's the first as well. Like they have not picked the hero.
I can check right now and tell you.
I don't think I saw Isis playing, but could be wrong. During the whole group stage.
He didn't actually really play Bat that much when Bat was really popular. They usually just banned it.
Yeah. I want to say, so Vici Gaming, the trade-off here is obviously they know if they don't get Shadow Fiend, the opposition will, but there's no Chen.
They played it one game versus MVP Phoenix.
Okay.
They won the game, of course.
Oh, of course.
Damn.
Okay. Well, 95% ban rate on the hero? For
them.
Vici Gaming,
Yeah.
okay. So this is the first game it's, apart from that it's even in the draft for Vici Gaming. So, whoa. Okay.
That's
okay,
early.
that's early and interesting.
We actually saw how devastating a sniper could be in a lane versus Shadow Fiend. Easy to set up a ganks against Shadow Fiend. And there was one game, I think I was doing the panel with Bruno or someone. We saw the sniper with a Earthshaker. FY was playing the Earthshaker.
Yes.
He came to mid, he ganked the Shadow Fiend, but sniper had level 1 sharpener. He would have
Oh, I remember
yes.
that. He went
would have
1-1-2.
gotten the kill if he had 2 points in sharpener
That is
instead
correct.
of 2 points in take aim.
Oh, the 1-1-2, man.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about how good Batrider is against Shadow Fiend, and also Lion, how they counter each other. So Shadow Fiend is one of the carry heroes, I want to say, that depends the most on turning during fights. You want to turn to cast the
Yep.
raises, you want to get in position for the Requiem, which will often depend on you turning your hero around and moving in a direction. So Sticky Napalm ruins Shadow Fiend until he has BKB. After that point, it changes. And in addition to that, the way Secret often use their Shadow Fiend is that they use him as the primary sieging tool in their strategy. So when they want to go push high ground, they have Shadow Fiend in front and some defensive supports at the back. That's so much harder against the Batrider to pull off. Against Lion, kind of the same story, very dependent on turning to cast his Hex, his Impale, but he is also one of the heroes that, if turned correctly, immediately can counterplay the Batrider with a fast Hex. So for me, the really surprising thing is the second pick Sniper. Do you think they needed to do that?
Why not? If they know who they're going to lane Shadow
Yeah.
Fiend against them, they might as well.
It still gives some information.
Mm-hmm. I want to
I
point out.
personally like it.
Yeah, I want to point out that, as I said before, Vici Gaming is 1-0 with Batrider during the patch 683 and this tournament as well. And Ice in particularly has 12 games total with Batrider. Clearly, not one of his favorite heroes, but he's 9-3 with that hero, making him 75% effective.
It's funny, it sounds like a bad stat for Ice with all the other heroes we've been talking.
Yeah.
Oh, 75% win rate, that's not that good.
Keep in mind during the group stage event, Secret almost lost to Vici, and it was the same matchup in the mid lane. It was also Dire versus Radiant, Sniper on Dire, Shadow Fiend on Radiant, and they actually got ruined by the Clockwork. I think that ruined them the most. It was very good versus Sniper.
Yeah.
Clockwork
Yeah.
destroyed them.
We were talking about no one having force stuff that game, and
Yeah.
he just
Yeah.
hooked, and every time on the
Ancient
sniper.
Apparition went forced.
Yeah,
But
it was
the-
late.
I think they're aiming to counter the draft in a similar way and just making it a little bit better based on the results of what happened before.
There's one thing that's interesting about the synergy between Batrider and Sniper, which is we often talk about how when Fire flies down, you can't really engage because you don't have the flying vision.
Yep.
You have Shrapnel. So if you want to cover a specific zone, let's say, for example, Vici Gaming, you're Dire and you want to fight for Roche, you have so much zone control. It's incredible. You can drop 3 Shrapnels in an arc and just cover an entire area with vision. You have the Batrider Firefly. The moment Batrider initiates, no matter how far away from the sniper is, you know you have the Assassinate as well, so you have that buffer in which you can kill the hero. So a really interesting choice here for Vici Gaming in their combination. I do believe that game against Secret that you mentioned that they almost won, they did not have the Batrider with the sniper, correct? It has to be, because they only had it against MVP.
Yeah, that is
So
correct. Yeah.
pretty interesting. Oh no.
Oh no.
Bristleback,
no.
a decent hero to Sticky on a Sniper, but again, we were talking about the last draft that they had, and I remember a lot of us were saying that Bristleback was just going to get kited a lot, which is where the Clockwork with the hookshot, he has a reliable way of initiation. But Bristleback, there was a Fissure to deal with, there's Shrapnel to deal with, there's Firefly to deal with. He's not going to have the mobility and ease of movement like
He's
last
just
game.
the mid shield, I guess,
Yeah.
for the Shadow Fiend.
How do you like the soundproof booth on the AC?
Is it really?
You just saw it in the previous screen. Can we show that again? If it's they removed it. Damn it! I was talking about what was on the screen right now.
You have to give us a heads up, when it happens.
No, it just happened like in
saw
a
it.
second. Yeah,
I saw it.
they look pretty nice.
Yeah, they look nice. I like the screen on the front is really cool.
Looks
Just
pretty
like
similar to
TS.
the setup at MLG Columbus, I would say. The way they did their booths. I feel like they look similar.
I don't remember the booth. I remember they had booths, but I don't remember what they look like.
Pretty similar to that.
Okay, cool.
So now you can imagine.
And now I have the image in my mind. The Clockwork ban is very spot on. As so is the Earthshaker ban.
Last time they did Shaker in AA. So again, Secret knows exactly just from that last game.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
a
Like to
lot
go.
of supports out of the picture from Vici Gaming. That's the most scary thing for them is
The Rubik is still there.
Earthshaker is the best to complement the sniper. But
Wow.
this hero, good versus Bristleback, I think.
How many times have we seen Shadow Demon this tournament?
IG pick it once. Shadow Demon Mirana. Game.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Could be like the old school SD Lesh. I think
I
Vici's
was-
one of the few teams that like running it.
Exactly. I was thinking that, but I don't think it's that good
Mirana?
this game. I think Mirana is a more solid choice.
You have the lasso
Third-
for the
yeah.
arrow as
Yeah.
well, so probably more synergy that way.
And it's also a good way of winning mid lane.
Yeah.
Arteezy needs to be very careful against Shadow Demon Mirana. Also against Shadow Demon Lesh, to be honest, but there's still the threat that even if they don't smoke, you can still get sniped
Yeah,
by an arrow
it-
from different angles.
It's like more pressure, you know. You see the Shadow Demon at top lane harassing the off lane, and then you think you're safe, but then the arrow comes in. Wow.
I don't know. I still like Lesh. I think the Lightning Storm with
He
like
got a lot better
Shrapnel
now.
is like really difficult to work with.
It's a good way of holding high ground.
But did you say 3 times, or this is the 3rd time? This is the 3rd time. I have it. Yeah, I have the same thing. Shadow Demon won 1-1 in the group stage.
Okay.
It feels like Vici Gaming is setting up for something, because Shadow Demon in particular does not have any particular synergy with Sniper, but rather other than just disrupting the Sniper to have better push. But
I think it's more of a reaction to the Bristleback though. You have
Okay.
a support that can actually, like you guys mentioned, kite the Bristleback with the Purge, and obviously Soul Catcher is very good versus Bristleback as well.
Sproink! I wish we had gods
Sproink.
here in the panel.
I think this Enchantress pick is
10 seconds remaining.
whenever Puppy plays this Enchantress, I feel like he almost always does something aggressive with it. Either smoking into the enemy jungle, securing the mid lane, but taking the farming route that we've seen in some Chen games where they're not that active, I don't think we can expect out of this. He's going to have to make plays, because if he doesn't, Secret will probably be on the receiving end of quite a few ganks with Shadow Demon Mirana. However,
10 seconds
if they get through the early game, Vici Gaming has a paper-thin lineup against Shadowfiend Bristle. Like, they
Yep.
could just all die in
team pick.
absolutely no time.
Sind, a question for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about picking Enchantress when you know there's going to be a roaming Shadow Demon, and in this case Shadow Demon Mirana? Do you think the Shadow Demon Mirana can just like hunt the Enchantress and get a lot of kills for free?
If he has a creep, then no. 'Cause then the creep will block the arrow. That's a really nice play you can make with Enchantress. I actually think it's reactionary pick, because when the Shadow Demon is there, Vici Gaming, you kind of know what kind of play they're going to go for. And Enchantress can either be good aggressively and prevent them from roaming by making aggressive plays himself, so then Vici Gaming need to react to the Enchantress ganks, which they really don't want to. Or, on the contrary, if Shadow Demon Mirana go for a disruption setup, he can block with the creep, he can easily turn a fight around, even if the hero that gets ganked dies. Enchantress is one of the heroes that, with any sort of backup, can turn the fight around, and wow.
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut last pick.
This gives Team Secret a little bit of a push threat as well.
Vici
Coming-
Gaming needs some sort of AoE control. They're just gonna
Firefly
get run down.
and Shrapnel, pretty good base defense and tower defense.
Yeah.
He's also.
Oh, let's
Can
take a
you
look
s-
at low violence Shadow Demon, because you know in China you can't show skeletons and stuff. So
Oh,
10
Shadow
seconds
Demon.
remaining.
and you can't show the blood as well. So Life Stealer Ultimate that is like green color stuff
Yes.
splattered over.
Yes, and Blood Seeker is Oil Seeker.
Shadow Demon Medusa. Super late game.
So many illus.
So many healers.
I'm worried for Vici Gaming that they don't get there, though. I think they need to play
yeah,
really
but
well
at the same
defensively.
time they have look at their base defense with Sharpner, Split Shot, Shadow Demon, and Barrier. They have the necessary tools to get there.
Is this going to be a game similar to the Cloud9 game,
Oh
where
my
they like if
I
Team
think-
Secret wants to push, they're gonna find themselves against a very strong wall?
Yeah, but they're going to
the
overcome
Great
it.
Wall
If they
of
get a
China.
20k gold lead, they're not going to
The
lose.
Great Wall of China, dude.
The Great Wall of China. I like how that sounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Stone Gaze is amazing here. I think that's... They wouldn't pick up Medusa just for her late game carry potential and for base defense if it wasn't for the new Stone Gaze.
10
It's not really new anymore,
Mhm.
but Team Secret has an in-your-face lineup, and Medusa has had a really good score against that this tournament,
Mhm.
so that's very
Um,
nice.
Ben,
Eh,
question to you.
wow.
Important. Do you think Juggernaut, when he's spinning, shouldn't get Stone Gaze? Because since he's spinning, he's not actually looking at me Medusa all the time.
That would be nice.
That's interesting.
Good theory.
Fair enough. Anyways, we're going to go into the game right now. It's going to be the third game versus Secret versus Vici Gaming. Whoever wins this is going to go to the finals of the winner bracket, or the upper bracket, however you want to call it. We have two amazing casters, the TA3 final casters, once again together. LD and Luminous, this is all yours. Good luck.
Well, Lumi, you said better than TI3 Finals. One of the best games you cast for Game 1. Can this game 3 deliver? No, stakes not quite as high, but it's a big one. Secret on the Radiant, Vici the Dire. Both teams looking to contest this Radiant jungle early. A smoke.
Level
off
1
the
smoke.
back.
Yeah, they actually bought 2 smoke, one on FY, one on Finrar. I'm not sure what exactly you're looking to find here. They know that the level 1 rune, especially in the bottom, will be contested.
Are they trying to bait with these heroes from the river and then
it could
go
go
for a back
so badly here. Kuro is going to break
get
the
revealed.
smoke,
Well,
and that's it.
smoke's over, folks. And that's really big, actually, because smokes are your most precious resource when you're running a duo like Shadow Demon Mirana.
Yeah. It's also...
They're still going in here, but I don't think they even
Well, they
tried
get the
for a
rune,
kill.
I guess, so it pays for the smoke in a sense.
But Secret get the top rune for free, so I don't really know. That's obviously I'd say a win for Secret there. Also, Vici's still not warding the woods. They do have a couple of observers and sentries. They'll plant
Oh, they saw
one
that one
sentry
being
down,
placed.
but that was pinged out. They might even deward this
Actually,
before the creep spawn. They saw both. Oh man, this
I
was
like how
bad for
both
Vici.
those wards could counter the one that saw them, but I don't think Mirana ever saw that ward because she never had the high ground vision. In any case, I'm surprised that the Shadow Demon didn't pick up boots first. Because generally when you play this kind of combo, the SD is your initiator, but...
All right,
I digress.
Lumi, we might have some action here bottom. Is Ice going to take an Impale? He's
wow.
dropping low to the Quills already. Not going to be an easy lane for your Bat Rider off lane, even with the boots first. Meanwhile, Super pressing up on the mid. FY maybe setting up for an arrow here. They want to go on RTZ early. The arrow's, just barely going to miss. That was damn close. That would have been first blood.
But
look how low RTZ already is.
the thing about this kind of Mirana play, you could just sit there and keep missing arrows, but the fact that you're throwing them, like, as a mid player that's facing arrows all day, it is just so annoying to play against. You're going to miss a couple of CS as a result. But
That is for
thankfully,
sure. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Ice almost finished off, and he's very low on regen.
he already used a salve too. So.
Yeah, he may have to ferry out some additional regen here. The bottle, I believe, coming out for Super now. No, just some tangos for the time being. Yeah, he does go for the Wraith Band first, so won't have the bottle gold for some time. But even if Ice wants to ferry regen, he's going to have to wait a while for this.
Yeah, maybe he starts making some kind of creep skip play. You just lead the next creep wave into the neutral camp and whatnot. Also, I'm surprised by the fact that Kuro didn't get Hex at level 1, because...
Courier mid, FY trying to snipe it, but a bit too late to get in range for that.
Yeah, Hex level 1 gives you much more longer stun duration compared to Impale, but obviously Impale does damage, so trade-offs.
So, looking at the way the lanes are developing, Vici Gaming, they draft the Shadow Demon Mirana. Oh, they're going to Impale Ice bottom. Could be the first blood. He's going to Firefly with a double damager. Can he actually turn this one against Puppey? Uh-oh. This could be bad. He's low. Not dead yet. The Hex comes out. They try to finish off Ice. He feeds the first blood. Oh, no. Had the Observer Ward. Had the Vision, too. Knew Kuro was in the neighborhood, but just unable to get the kill in time.
Oh, that one's just barely out of the range of the D ward.
Well, a small piece of salvation here for Vici.
Meanwhile, looks like an arrow has landed on the mid lane. RTZ not gonna die, just take a little bit of harass. But it feels like this FY Mirana has not really done a lot of work.
It's not slowing down the Shadow Fiend. He's 16 and 3. You're running a sniper mid who on paper can somewhat counter and control the Shadow Fiend, especially early on, but they haven't killed RTZ. They haven't slowed down his farm. Puppey's jungle has not really been contested. You look at last game, he was level 3 at like 8 minutes as Chen. This game, level 3 at 3 minutes. It's an Enchantress, to be fair. Doesn't offer quite as much in the mid game, but they're just not getting enough done. And now Fenrir top lane gonna actually get caught up by Blade Fury, but Sai doesn't want to chase that. A little bit worried about overextending.
Yeah, I'm just not sure what this Mirana is supposed to do if you don't get these ganks off. I was, when they picked up the Shadow Demon, arrow is gonna land. Wow, that's a long range arrow. Can they actually do enough damage to get the kill though? He's gonna have spin. Looks like the right click is gonna get delivered by Shadow Demon.
Meanwhile, mid lane, RTZ being pursued. Secondary shrapnel coming out.
Can he get
not
the
quite
third
enough.
one?
Another third shrapnel. He gets the kill. Big plays by Super. He'll get stomped and counter initiated on, but I don't know if the Chen creeps alone get the job done. Well, what they couldn't do with an arrow, they do solo. The level 3 shrapnel at level 5. Super going with the more standard build nowadays for Sniper, and that little bit of extra damage making the difference.
It's a super strong build. It's so hard to just run away from Sniper when
especially for a squishy hero like Shadow Fiend. 4 armor, 670 health, very immobile. That is so big for Secret. Still though, or for Vici, but still, you look at Secret, they have 4 heroes farming well. all things considered, Shadow Fiend is a good comeback hero, and they still lead this laning stage pretty substantially.
Yeah. I mean, wait, why is this? Oh, Arteezy denies his partner Centaur just to get a soul.
Give me that soul, puppy. Well, it's probably going to despawn fairly soon. Meanwhile, S4 diving this bottom tower quite aggressively, but he'll start to take heavy tower damage. He's only got a single stick charge. Help me, please. He's going to die to the tower. A rare overextension by S4 was trying to harass Ice with quills and run him down, but
I wonder
that's
if
a
it's
very uncharacteristic misplay.
Yeah, I wonder if the big stage is getting to these people, because last game, Super got solo killed by Arteezy. Same thing here. And then now we have a random dive by S4.
He gets baited in by Ice, but Ice was very healthy. He's also can just hug this cliff line, and there's no way you're going to hit him with the quills.
Yeah, he was fire flying through trees. I mean, is that even...
I think he thought the tower aggro would work differently and just wasn't able to juggle it off in time. These mistakes happen on the big stage.
All right.
Suddenly, Medusa and Sniper, your two lead farmers. Arteezy's still farming well. Of course, running the Enchantress, they probably won't have a ton of stacks for him like he's accustomed to. And in fact, they don't have any right now.
Yeah.
So. Any kills they get in Arteezy mean a lot more than those games where he's got a freely and fully stocked jungle for him to go back to. They're going to look to go in on Arteezy now. The Shrapnel coming out. They have Assassinate on Super. Might be able to get a solo kill. Arteezy has to be ever so careful here.
Yeah, well, he's got a bottle regen,
That's
so
true.
He could bottle through the Assassinate.
Yeah, if he gets caught in Shrapnel, though, he's going to... I think it's enough damage to break the bottle charges. Yeah, 48. So he does have to be cautious.
Yeah, one thing I'm very concerned about is Puppey, because like the panel pointed out, you don't pick Enchantress to farm in the jungle, and so far, I think he's
getting chased mid. They're going in hot. FY's here. The arrow going to connect. They don't even need the Assassinate. A big takedown here in the middle lane as the Shadow Fiend for Arteezy will die.
Yeah, right now Puppey needs to do a lot, and you got to start by getting this tier 1 tower, but kind of Bat Rider's probably one of the most perfect heroes to slow down the push at least. The creep wave's gone.
Yeah, and Ice recovering nicely. He gives up the first blood, but he's now level 5 in the offlane. And that one kill, it didn't really accomplish much for him, but he's just done a good job of playing patiently. He was given a bit of a freebie by his 4. I also like Fenrir's rotations. He comes bottom so that even if they get the initial Impale Hex on the Bat Rider, they can't really go on him.
S4 has a haste rune, but they see him though.
Oh no.
So capture, it's
Arrow gonna connect.
land.
S4 just walks him in. He's gonna die as well. Oh, this dire ward. You go back to that D ward attempt, Lumi, where they were just inches short of the D ward.
They saw that one being placed.
Oh man.
They pinged it out on minute 1.
Secret, perhaps the pressure of the big stage getting to them. As veteran of a lineup as they are, you really wouldn't expect it, but oh, it's just the little things. Dota truly is a game of inches.
Yeah. The most important member of Vici Gaming to me is actually the Medusa. Because if you look at this Vici Gaming lineup, if they fall behind, the lineup's completely papered in. They need some front line. And a Fat Dusa is the person they want, right? As somebody with Mana Shield, Stone Gaze, it is so hard to fight and kill her or run past her.
Secret have no answers for Medusa later. They have good physical damage, but all their heroes need to stand and face the Medusa.
Apart from just killing her outright.
Actually, they have Mana Drain, so they have like a pseudo answer. But you don't really have great Necro Book carries. Arrow, mid, looking for Arteezy. Oh, he'll dodge that.
Barely missing it.
But the pressure is constant, and his net worth is now 800 down, even though he leads the CS charts. It's only 2 deaths, but you see just a kill or 2 here or there really makes the difference. And of course, some of these CS are the jungle creeps, which give you significantly less gold per creep.
Yeah. I mean, I want to say that FY is being the better Enchantress than Puppey is right now. Like, he's doing what Enchantress should be doing, right? Just harassing non-stop. If you don't force the kill, great. You slow down his farm.
The problem for Puppey is there's 2 supports always off the map, right? There's a Shadow Demon and a Mirana constantly missing. So if he tries to make, say, a play on mid, those 2 could just be raiding there and turn around. S4 going to get disrupted here bottom lane. They have a lasso available. They get it off too. S4, will this be another death for him? They line up for the arrow. It won't connect, though.
He's so fast.
Lets him get out. If that arrow hits, he dies again, and he's going to go back in. Can he turn this one?
I don't know.
It's risky. If he dies there again, man, that's 0-3 safe lane Bristle. That's a real pain, a real problem for Secret, but is able to barely survive.
So this is where Secret really have, I want to say, a big weakness, at least against Vici Gaming. Out of the 4 games they have played, Vici Gaming has won the early phase every single game.
Here comes the smoke from Secret, by the way, in the Radiant jungle, swinging around.
Now, granted, in the other 3 games, it's not every single lane that loses. So when Secret loses one lane, they somehow recover. And for example, if Zai loses lane, he gets farm a little bit later on. But when you lose all of the lane, who's going to be your spike in the mid game? Like, who's going to turn things around, give you an early tower, give you a little bit of bump? Is it going to be Puppey on his
They're
ganks?
technically losing the lanes, but it's not by a huge margin. As they smoke, they look to go in on Black, but he's going to reveal it. He starts backing off. Now they have time to react. He's really not the hero they want to engage on. Meanwhile, bottom, Disruption coming out onto your Bristleback. He'll get caught by the arrow follow-up. Can they bring him down? The Quill stack up. He will fall, and then back the other way where they're chasing down Kuro. Ice has no mana here right now. No lasso for a few seconds. Can Arteezy turn it? The Chen creep's coming, or rather the Enchantress creep's coming in. Omni Slash onto Black. Not really doing a whole lot.
They're spinning on him right now. He is somewhat slowed down.
Man, 4 heroes walking around, not getting anything done.
Bad Rider's trapped on the high ground. Doesn't have mana for the TP. They drop the ward. They see him. A nice,
This game, just unfortunate mistake after mistake for both teams.
Yeah. Ice now dying a second time, although as a Bat Rider, you could give away one of those two. Meanwhile, Kuro though might actually slide you a solo assassinate. That shrapnel is so
7
huge.
stick charges, not enough. Mega kill solo mid sniper against an Enchantress. Really?
Every pub stream.
This is fun time for him. Uh-oh. Arteezy might turn it.
1 race, 2 race, blind race up. Oh!
What a play. That ends a mega kill streak right
That's
there.
huge.
A massive swing of gold.
I just had flashback.
800 gold swing plus.
That was beautiful.
Arteezy was like 1k plus down on the sniper before that.
Yeah.
My goodness, what a turn.
But again, I think Dusa is just. I mean, the net worth doesn't show, but if you don't count the sniper having a mega kill streak and then Arteezy getting the streak bonus, she's actually like the leaf farmer, and she's farming extremely well. It's gonna be a point booster first, just for extra health.
So looking at Vici Gaming, they've had a nice laning stage, but you walk into the mid game, they have heroes that don't really excel in larger scale engagements. Shadow Demon Mirana, more of your single target pick-off types, as Ice will be pursued a bit bottom. They need the Bat Rider Blink, and they need Ice to make plays. It's going to be a fairly slow Blink, but he is closing in on it. Yeah, considering the way the game started, still a decent timing. But to me, he is the key for Vici Gaming to keep this game at least on even footing until the Dusa and the Sniper can get fat.
You're absolutely right. I think Vici Gaming is very single-dimensional on that aspect. They could only go for ganks. They can't really team fight. Although, Arrow, it's going to scout things out.
Arteezy actually got revealed here, so the Roche attempt is over. Well, maybe not. Maybe Secret still go for it. They're going to try to roll up the bottom lane.
Get a T1.
Vici Gaming don't have the Bat Blink. Even if they did, it would be tough to defend this tower.
Yeah.
I think they just have to sack it. Secret do they even go for 2? Despite the laning stage not going well, they are the stronger 5-man lineup at this stage. When Medusa gets big, that changes, but it's kind of a weak window right now for Vici.
I'm very surprised that Black has been freezing the lane up on the top, because he noticed like the Roshan play, right? And then which transitioned to a tier 1 push. I think he should have been just pushing the tower hard, turning his Ring of Aquila on, for example. But looks like he's just more content in terms of slow farming.
I want to point out, Super just used the Shrapnel. He scouted the Ancient stack here. Something Vici Gaming could contest with the Shadow Demon Mirana gank, potentially with the Bat Rider. That Shrapnel...
Hard to steal it,
could be yeah, it's hard to steal the stack, but maybe they can ambush Secret going for it.
S4, how dead is he?
Oh, he's pretty dead. Yeah. But Super almost dead too. Oh, Kuroki, I love that attempt there. The sniper comes so close to dying.
I think most players wouldn't even think about like, oh,
he's got full health with Mask of Madness. Yeah, I'm gonna finger him. He was so close. That branch, dude. I think that branch just hit the difference and saved him.
Yeah.
It was damn close.
Now he'll think twice about turning on his Mask of Madness in these fights.
It's a big kill. You know, it's kind of funny the way that they almost turn on the sniper, but delaying the Bristleback mech, S4 would easily have it now if it weren't for the 4 deaths. Disruption, Soul Catcher, but's able to Blade Fury dodge this. He has the Omni Slash. Fenrir going to end up going down here, but no, Moonlight Shadow. Oh. He turns, he gets auto attack down. Now Sniper laying into them from the high ground. Assassinate coming out, but the Healing Ward will keep him alive. Not long enough though.
Soul Catcher
getting stomped. They bring in Black. Everybody rotating mid as the Kuroki Lion brought low. Another arrow again on the mark. S4 might end up going down. They're going to Stone Gaze, keeping Puppey back, focusing down the Bristleback. It's death number 5 for S4. His mech still delayed. He only has 150 gold towards the recipe. This might be the worst game that S4 has had on Secret ever.
Yeah, I think so. S4 generally is a very consistent player. Always really does well. I mean, that win running game from game 1, we saw how many big shackles. But, you know, when S4 doesn't do well, when Arteezy's having a very tough time on the mid lane, Zai, you know, he's got just a tough lane. Who's going to make the recovery?
Puppey's coming in. He slows down super. There is a Yule Scepter complete on Arteezy, but he can't quite get in range. If he gets the range there for the Yules, that's a kill.
Yeah.
And this is an item that can turn the game. As the panel talked about, Vici are very squishy. The main hero who can get tanky here is Black, and he's already starting to get there with the point booster, but any hero caught by the Yules is a free kill with the Requiem, or just with a couple raises and like a Lion Hexer stun. So
yeah. Also,
they still have plenty of kill opportunity to turn this game around.
Before Ice gets his Force Staff, if he blinks in and gets picked up by the Yule Scepter, Ice is dead. So it's a very good defensive item against the Batrider, in conjunction of it being an offensive item for the Shadow Fiend as well. Meanwhile, look at Zai. He's picked up an early medallion. We saw ZSMJ do this on the carry Juggernaut.
Yeah, they bought the medallion, and then that's when they smoked into Roche, hoping to just take the Aegis and snowball the game from there. But Vici were in position to slow it down, and so far the medallion, it's still a nice pickup. They have a very high physical damage on it, but it has yet to really show its worth.
Yeah. I mean, again, we cannot forget about the defensive usage of that.
Putting that's true.
I mean, against a sniper, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you've got Stone Gaze plus Sniper's auto attacks. It's a lot of physical damage.
Yeah.
Something that Secret need to keep in mind.
If you put a medallion on ally, the Stone Gaze like purge it off. Does that have that effect? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure how that particular interaction works.
S4 is going to try to catch up a little bit. Like you said, dying a lot of time. But looks like he's going to finish the mech here, which desperately he needs.
They're going to smoke Zai and Kuroki now making their way bottom. They have an Omni Slash at the ready. Fingers also online. Ooh. And they're going to fight super off the bat. This is a big one. Lasso, but Ice blinks into the impale. The fingers there. Now the Lasso trying to turn this as Kuro gets dragged back. The Healing Ward keeping him healthy for now. They'll purge him. Kill off that Healing Ward. Can they do it? It's still juking around through the tree line. Now Puppey arrives. They blast him down though and bring in more reinforcements. They have a leap forward. Arrows hunting and the creep's going to tank it.
Yeah, I think it's
now they're TPing in more. Secret want to take this fight. They've got S4 in tow. He still hasn't completed the mech, but they're going to chase anyway.
Dusa, how do you run past Dusa? Dusa's going to turn on Stone Gaze, right? Here comes S4. Arrow? No, Starstorm's going to hit on 2 here. Puppey's immediately dead, and they just have to run Arteezy. Coming on the backline here, if you could get a Yule's Initiate, but they see him as well. There's a ward on the ramp.
They actually had the mech recipe on the courier. He did already have it. It just hadn't been delivered yet.
Yeah, if he actually popped the mech there, would have turned the fight around.
Oh, man. One of those crazy back-and-forth games where both teams, they can feel the intensity, how close the match is, and that graph really tells the story of the game. Just when you think one team gets a bit of an edge with a punch, there's a counter blow that brings it right back to dead even.
Yeah, you know how you said during the mid-game, this Vici Gaming lineup can't really take fight well? Well, the surprising thing is that Black is teleporting into every single fight. And just the threat of a Stone Gaze is letting them win these kind of small scale engagements.
Honestly, if he was AFK farming, like he kind of was on the Queen of Pain last game, I think Secret would be running them over.
Exactly.
But his presence in the fights is saving teammates and also, in some cases, even netting them kills.
Yeah. I mean, the mid, right? The S4 wouldn't have died there if it wasn't Stone Gaze hitting them. Kuro trying to get this D ward off, but a looming arrow. You got to be careful of that.
Here's your big item for Arteezy now. He does pick up the Blink Dagger, but they saw him walk into the shop. Can they actually go on this? Shrapnel number 1 coming out. They're canceling the Blink Dagger. He can't retreat out easily. He Yules dodges the Assassinate. More heroes streaming in now. They're bringing in a lot of reinforcements. Requiem comes out. Arteezy gonna go down. Super dropping low to the Death Requiem as an Omni Slash was actually not available yet. Zai on the chase now. S4 getting purged and slowed down. They're going to kite and control this bristle. Arrow missing narrowly. Goo coming out. He's a bit of a raid boss with the mech.
The sniper, though, on the back line. He's just blinking away. Maybe not doing a ton of damage.
They still have Stone Gaze, but they are Mana draining Black. Now the Imp's doing more and more damage as his Mana Shield gets close to running out super. Still trying to lay into Secret. Has to be careful. The Stone Gaze comes out. That forces the retreat. Now Kuro backing off. Creeps turn to Stone. The 2-hero impale. Nicely done by Kuro. Ice blinking over the top. He gets Omni Slash. Executed almost immediately. They still chase forward. Damn, Secret are tanky. They just can't get any kills yet. Now maybe they do. They bring down 1. They blink down a second. At long last, the sniper works his way through their armor. They'll disrupt. They'll set up for an arrow. That hits Kuro. It's 4 dead. It could be 5. It will be 5. Vici Gaming bringing the entire squad down.
Shadow Fiend teleports him, but immediately blinks back out.
Oh, man.
I mean, this Dusa last pick was so perfect. How do you run past the Dusa and get to the sniper? You can't. Sniper on the back line. He's just hitting away. Sure, he might not be doing that much damage right now, but in 5 minutes, he will be hitting much harder.
And now they purge Arteezy. There's nobody who can come to his aid. There's no buybacks. Arteezy may go down again.
Rip.
He starts chucking out raises. He can't even get a single kill. Another Death Requiem. Secret are just collapsing under the pressure from Vici Gaming. And the graph reflects it. It plummets downwards. Tier 1 falling top. Oh my, Lumi. They looked invincible before this series. It's not over yet, but it's more just we haven't seen this from them to date.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about how Secret could actually take a fight where it isn't like bull rush head in, because who's gonna be the initiator, right? I guess you have to have Lion to get a blink.
Yeah.
Or the Juggernaut to get a blink.
It feels like that, or maybe even the Jug getting a blink or a Shadow Blade. But walking headlong into Vici, you're walking into Shrapnel. The Batrider can counter Lasso. They can disrupt anyone that you do manage to jump. They have really good solutions for Bristleback, which I feel like a lot of teams just have not drafted in a way that allows them to deal with that hero. But
Shadow Demon, like what a hero. It just makes Bristleback somewhat useless. He can be very tanky, but Soul Catcher changes that. Demonic Purge just basically says your movement speed is gone and my sniper can hit you.
That's the thing is usually when you see a Shadow Demon Marana, you're like, they have to get a lot done in this laning stage.
Right.
Or they're just going to fall off. But the Shadow Demon is so useful this game against what Secret bring to bear.
Oh my god, Black has a Eye of Skadi. Sniper has an SMY.
Bottom tower is under
Like, this Bristleback is going to move so slowly.
You start walking backwards into your team when he's trying to run away.
That's the old joke. Like, you know, what is he going to do?
How slow can you go? We're probably going to find out here soon. And to make matters worse, I think even a bigger item is Fenrir almost completing a 4-staff. The Batrider just grabbed one. Ice, Ice, Ice. Secret are a team that need to walk into you, as you've been pointing out throughout the cast. And these 4-staffs just make it easier and easier to kite, and also to just disengage if a hero's ever caught out of position.
Okay, how about this?
How does Secret come back now? What is the game plan here?
Okay, here's a proposition, and I'm not sure whether it will work or not. You're Shadow Fiend, right? You get a BKB. You just blink in the middle and just force in Requiem. Does that work? In theory, Batrider could cancel it
They
with
can lasso.
But when you're lassoing the Shadow Fiend in the middle, that's where your Bristleback, your Juggernaut just storm in, right? That's the point. Or is that just too YOLO and too hard?
With the double force, you can also just double force away. I guess then Secret maybe can chase you down away from the creep wave. He needs that BKB if he wants to go for a play like that.
Yeah.
Which
he
still is a ways off.
Well, looks like we're going to see a play on the tier 2. They might actually find one.
They might find Super. This will be big. Yule's going to find him. I don't even think they try to defend him. He's completely caught out. They will TP in the Batrider, but it's far too late. Nice pick there by Secret. But it doesn't lead to an objective yet, and I guess the question is, do they want to try to force this tower? Or do they maybe swing around towards the big Rockman and go into Roche?
Getting Roche is huge, right? Because
they're against Batrider and Shadow Demon, though. A lot of vision control around the pit.
But Sniper is kind of their damage dealer, especially... Oh, here comes Lasso.
They found one, but the Yules from Arteezy was ready. Arrow coming in hot. Will connect on Puppey, but Omni/Ends Ice off the bat. Fenrir going in one by one. Vici Gaming engaged. They need Black to support here. He throws out the Scotty. Oh my goodness, this Dusa is strong right now. Stone gazing and charging forward. Arteezy gets off the Requiem, but he dies and explodes in a cloud of... just destruction. Now Black chasing forward, fighting his way past the Shadow Fiend onto the backlines. Mana Drain will make him a whole lot more squishy, though. He's forced back now. Soul Catcher coming out onto S4. They will disrupt it.
Back in 5 seconds. That could be huge if they actually
He's got stick charges as well on Black. He's not quite as squishy as you think. They'll set up for an arrow now. Zai trying to dodge it with a Blade Fury. He'll be successful, but that Sniper's coming in. They need to retreat now.
Yeah, they know.
Can they get in range for a disruption? It doesn't look like
I think Kuro might get picked off, though. Kuro does have Finger still. He can actually kill FY, I think, here. Finger, drop him low, bud! The very last tick. Any Hadoken from the creep? No.
Oh, man.
It goes the other way.
This game, every kill coming down to just split seconds and tiny fractions of HP. But it seems time and again, Vici Gaming just getting the slight upper hand in those trades. And now a lineup that really is not good at taking Roche is just going to have a freebie.
Yeah, also, the surprising thing for me is Black took a point-blank Requiem of Soul, and he lost like 20% health. Mono Shield is just such a powerful ability.
The Medusa has been, it's crazy to think about it, but in these mid-game fights, the Medusa has been their bulwark. Like,
she's the queen of...
the way a lot of teams have been running this hero, like, good example would be Big God. Birdie will come to fights very occasionally, but
it's like 2010 Medusa, right? Just farm.
Yeah, generally the entire lineup is just built around turtling and getting burning to late game. Like you saw, Xiao 8 was on the bristleback. He was their frontliner while Birdie just kept on farming in their first game against Cloud9 yesterday. This game, totally different approach. The Medusa is their team fighter.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just there for pickoffs and long-range artillery in the case of the sniper.
Oh, Puppey is going to get caught. Centaur Stomp. It's actually going to hit. Ice is going to take a ton of damage. Force Staff away. Fenrir, though, is going to pop the Purge. And looks like Puppey, nice assassinate. Give him that vision. But it looks like they don't even need a...
He's almost got level 3 assassinate, which is a lot of damage, by the way. 655.
Yep.
Puppey currently sitting on less than 1,000 HP. Oh, actually, no, he's got Point Booster. He's fairly tanky, but still, they're able to burst him down. Demon Edge up for your sniper. Oh, man.
So do you think it's going to be MKB next for him?
They don't really have anyone who's going to be building evasion. It could just be a straight Daedalus.
I mean, MKB is
the
just
safer choice.
Nice damage, right?
It's safer as well because it really discourages like that Shadow Fiend Butterfly build.
Yeah.
Which we do see quite often.
Also, Vici or Secret is working with decent armor heroes, so having some magical damage is not bad per se.
Secret trying to hang on. Their tower under siege. Super marching in, aggressively posting up. He's confident with the Aegis. He's got Black by his side. And now bottom lane, the lasso onto Arteezy coming out. They'll pull him deep back as Fenrir rotates in. Can he force step? In 5 seconds he can. Yules is there. It's going to actually set up for them to jump on top of him. They disrupt him, preventing that Requiem. The Purge already used. Arteezy won't even get it off. Down he goes again. Fenrir, your mega kill support Shadow Demon. 6, 1, and 10. What a performance for the two supports it's been.
Yeah, I know FY gets a lot of hype for his, next level plays, but I think Fenrir has played extremely solid this series. That Witch Doctor Maelstrom build, this game, his Shadow Demon play has been absolutely on point. The Demonic Purges, Soul Catchers, everything has been good.
And he's been in position as well. Like, you remember early bottom lane when Secret tried to push the tower, Ice Fireflies almost got caught? The Shadow Demon was there anyway, so even if he does get caught, they just disrupt him and he's absolutely fine.
I think that's the hardest part about playing Shadow Demon, like being there before the fight even happens, because you kind of
It's not a mobile hero, right? Like the Mirana can get around pretty quickly, but your Shadow Demon's got to do it the good old-fashioned way with below-average move speed to boot.
Well, Zai is trying to get a T1 top, and looks like they'll take it for free, but...
Yeah, I don't... Vici Gaming TP'd in here. That would be a way to lose one hero by one and possibly just throw away this lead they've managed to accumulate. Now a 10,000 gold lead, though, Lumi. 12,000 experience. Secret, the way they're itemizing, very mid-game centric. The Shadow Fiend Blink Yules now going into Yasha. The Juggernaut going drums as well as Medallion for Zai. S4 BKB mech. Nobody's gearing up for a beefy late game, and it makes you worry if Secret can't find that game-changing fight sometime in the next 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. It's about finding the fight and then having the hero to initiate, right? Vici has the Bat Rider, so they could, whenever they spot somebody out in the jungle, in the river, they could get a free pick. Secret doesn't have the option. I mean, Lion, in theory, could do it.
He still doesn't have Blink. When is the last time that you've seen Kuroki with no Blink on a Lion, a Rubik, like an initiating hero along those lines at 27 minutes? I don't know if I can remember having seen it at all this tournament.
I mean, when have you seen Secret lose all 3 lanes?
That's not very often. Lasso coming in bottom lane on S4. Will be dragged back into an arrow, but he BKBs just in the nick of time. They can kill him through this, though, I think. Chasing him on with the sniper, hitting fairly hard. Even if they don't kill him, they're in trouble regardless. Now Medusa lane in S4. They're diving him to the base. So they really
not moving. He's just so slow.
That's a very slow armadillo.
Yeah, and
now
his team
Vici,
is not supporting him. So.
They're in position to break the base. They're trying to split push, but they don't have that tiny wisp combo.
Are they trying to race?
They can't base race Vici. They're just too far in. Maybe they try to trade, but it looks like it won't be a favorable trade at this rate.
Super out of position, though. He's like up the ramp in front of his team, but I guess...
He's got Aegis, though.
Fair enough.
You go on him, then Black is there to counter-initiate. They also have the double Force-Staff disruption if the Bat Rider's in the area, which so far he is. So
I guess they're playing the game of chicken. Who's going to back off first? It's Puppey trying to defend on the front line here.
Assassinate might even kill him.
Oh, Kuroki got immediately disrupted. Kuroki's going to be dead. Just 2 hits. The arrow's going to finish him off. Assassinate coming from afar. Is Puppey going to die? yes, kapow!
They can't
Dead.
even walk into the Rex. They walk into the Rex and these supports, they just die. S4, he dies slowly rather than quickly. They force out that Enchantress buyback. S4 surging in, but they can just start kiting him and go back on him. His BKB still cooling down because it was the 10-second charge. S4 gonna die again. 2-8 his score as Vici. They sense blood in the water.
Oh,
they
this could
sense
be
weakness. This could be the end. It's a dieback for Puppey. It's a lane of Rex, and they're going even deeper now for a lasso at the top lane. Ice.
What a
Slowing down
breakdown.
Arteezy, who's still been split pushing this whole time, but now Black's here to greet him. He can't TP out as quickly as he grabs the gem. It goes back the other way. He's yet to crack the base, and they may go back in bottom. Fenrir looking in for this initiation with the disruption. They'll start it off Arrow. Not gonna go for it. They'll instead go for Kuro. Leap forward. FY ready to body block whatever he can, and it's not even needed. They
Juggernaut
get the kill. He
he's
dies
stuck.
third spin. It's a wipe.
He's stuck between the 2 Illusion and that 3-2-2 Ziggurat or whatever it's called, the building. What a disruption by Fenrir, and he just got right-clicked.
Secret getting run over. 31-10. They're down by 20k gold. You look at the gold graph, and it's not even the numbers. It's just peppered with red dots from all the kills Vici Gaming have been racking up.
I mean,
This is a stomp.
I guess if you're going up against Secret, you look at what Vici's doing. Because 4 games in a row, Vici has beat Secret in the laning stage. But none as hard as this game.
Well, the hometown favorites here for Vici Gaming. They're so far looking strong, and they're on the verge of taking the Series 2-1 winner. Guaranteed top 3 at the Dota 2 Asia Championships. They lay in now to the Melee Rex mid. They've already taken 1 lane of Rex Secret on their last legs. They gotta find a way to engage, but how do you go onto the Dusa? They disrupt her as soon as the Hex comes out. The Raze won't even hit. Now they leap in with the lasso, pulling Arteezy in deep. He dies in a matter of seconds. No buyback, no way out for Secret. They're getting slaughtered in their own base. S4 likely to be next. He'll go down. 3 more dead at GG. Vici Gaming guaranteed top 3 at DAC. Secret no longer undefeated.
You know, this game, I am extremely impressed with the way that Black played the Dusa. You talked about it. If Dusa did not join those early game fight, they could have get overrun, but Stonegate is a strong fighting tool early on, mid-game.
The crazy part is how bad the laning stage looked like it was going to start. They smoke, it doesn't work. They drop 2 wards, both spotted by Secret.
Didn't get dewarded though, one of them.
One of them didn't get dewarded. But man, just from top to bottom, Secret, just a rough game for them.
Yeah.
Everybody struggled here.
I mean, I think they're still the favorite team to come out of the loser bracket, but you got some feisty team down there, and you don't want to take anything for granted.
Well, the scary thing as well, though, is, I mean, maybe teams look at these Vici Gaming matches as well and feel more confident now.
God, this is how you beat Secret.
Nobody's going to say Secret is easy, but at least they're not immortal, right? They have lost. They can lose if you play right. And
lose in very spectacular fashion, I might have.
I don't know if I would say this is a recipe for beating Secret, because I feel like a lot of this match just came down to excellent individual play and team decision making, which is not something. It's not like you can just pick that in the draft, right? You have to play at that level.
Sure.
Guaranteed top 3, Lumi. Vici Gaming, they'll be awaiting the winner of our next.
I mean, does that surprise you, though, that Vici has done this one?
No, it doesn't at all. That was, I think, one of the toughest matches to predict. We did predictions during the downtime yesterday, and Vici Gaming Secret, I was really torn. I felt if anyone was going to beat Secret, it would be Vici.
Did you pick Secret? I mean, it's hard not to.
I've bet against them too many times.
Yeah.
I had to wear the horse mask, man. I bet on Secret, and I guess the jinx is strong with me.
Okay.
Well, with that said, analysts, Vici Gaming, guaranteed top 3.
Vici Gaming is guaranteed top 3 of this tournament already. Secret, they found themselves fighting against lineups that they hadn't seen all tournament, and they lost to them. Was it the surprise lineups that was a problem, or was just Vici Gaming playing out of their mind?
I think they had a really good draft, and they played out of their mind. They didn't make the same mistakes that they did in the group stage, which I thought was really important. They learned from their draft. They learned from their mistakes. They learned that Shadow Fiend is vulnerable to a sniper, and the Bat Rider also destroyed him all game.
Yeah. We saw also the Shadow Demon being a great key pick. Winter, how do you like this hero?
Great against Bristleback, like I mentioned. You can kite him and soul catcher. And it works very well with the Medusa in case the game goes far enough that you need to rely on disruption to defend your high ground. It's just really good synergy overall in their draft. Good setup for the arrow.
Syndrome, based on the draft that Secret had, do you think there was something that they could have done differently during the game?
They should have definitely avoided, I think, 2 of Arteezy's deaths mid. I think he got solo killed by Sniper, which...
Yes.
I mean, it is a hard matchup. I won't fault him for losing the lane. He was actually doing really well early on because Enchantress helped him. I think I looked at the CS. Arteezy was 16-3 against a 6-0 Sniper, so he was effectively winning the lane. It's right after that you cannot afford to get solo killed, because the game can take a completely different direction if Sniper doesn't... That's basically... He was behind, and then suddenly he was 500 or 600 gold ahead in the mid lane, and then he takes control. So I would say that in combination with
The arrow as well, like he was under
the
pressure.
arrow, yeah, we
under
were talking
pressure.
about that. It was a very difficult mid lane. I don't know if the Juggernaut could have gone for a different item build. I feel like the medallion was completely useless all game. They got it for the Roche, but they never got to take it. I think it's borderline naive maybe to expect to get away with the Roshan against a lineup that has Shrapnel, Firefly, Shadow Poison. Like any hero in the area can scout it for like no mana, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, he was just generally underfarmed. He didn't really
Yeah.
have a large selection to choose from.
I don't know what else he would get that would have been more valuable, but this is... In addition to that, S4, he dies too much, but then again, it's just the threat. Whenever... The really big thing about Vici Gaming's lineup is the moment heroes are missing, you really don't know where your limits are. Like, Secret have been really good in this tournament at finding out, okay, I can farm this far and then I have to back off. Or, okay, we see 2 or 3 heroes here, we know what 2 are missing. But any combination of the 3 key heroes, I would say, for Vici Gaming this game, Mirana, Shadow Demon, and Batrider. The moment 2 of them are missing, you cannot push a lane. So S4 plays like he usually does. He gets killed 5 times in the early mid game. Gets a very late mech. Bristleback does not play well from behind. And, you know, no pun intended, by the way. But he does kind of. But, yeah.
I will take it. Actually, it felt like at some point Secret forgot how to play against the Shadow Demon. There was a moment where Shadow Demon got 5 stacks on, I think, Bristleback.
Bristleback, yeah.
Yes. He was just constantly spamming Shadow Poison. That skill at level 4 can do 1080 damage on a 5 stacks. So it's a lot of damage coming out of nowhere. If you're not keeping track, you can find yourself suddenly losing without knowing exactly why. And also another good Shadow Demon highlight was when they were pushing bottom lane against the Juggernaut. Did you see that, Ben?
Mm-hmm.
What happened with the Juggernaut?
Which one? Which
That-
push?
Okay. Got you.
I saw the one where he got lassoed.
No. The one he got disrupted with
He
the
got
Juggernaut.
stuck at the Moonwell.
Oh, I
he
did not
got
see
Oh, that
like-
was
he
right
got-
at the end of the game.
By the end of the
I
game,
ran
they
it
were
downhill.
pushing-
I was watching on 2 minutes
No,
delay.
they
and then I
were
was like, oh,
they were
shit.
pushing bottom barracks, and so he disrupts the Juggernaut
Mhm.
just next to the Moonwell to the effigy. And when he pops out, he's trapped between his 2 illusions, and his 2 illusions solo kill him. Just like that.
That's pretty ridiculous.
I think
I
that
wish
was
I saw
that
that.
was probably the least important kill of the game.
Oh, absolutely.
So
But it looked very cool.
yeah, style points,
I
by
wanna
all
see
means.
BTS highlight moments.
BTS highlight moments. Yeah. It was very, very important because Zai was trying to move. You know when you're trapped and you want to move and you're not really attacking the illusions? Like, if you start attacking from the beginning, you could have gone
Wait,
out.
didn't he have face boots on the Juggernaut? No.
No, he had
No,
shreds.
treads.
Oh, okay. No wonder.
By the time he decides to attack, he actually decides to spin, but he's in 20% HP, and the illusions are full health, and they're doing a lot of damage to himself.
There's one more thing we didn't really bring up, which was Secret would like to push towers in this game. So let's imagine they don't get far behind, right? I mean, it's one thing we talked about. This Vici Gaming lineup actually has potential to turtle and win
Sorry.
late game, even if they fall behind. But they play on even footing. This is a really good lineup to have against Healing Ward, which is a lot of the draw of the Juggernaut. I don't remember when they picked it, but they definitely picked it after
It
Sniper.
was last.
They
Yes.
last picked Juggernaut. The Healing Ward against any sort of really long-range heavy lineup is very difficult to get away with.
Yep.
So they have a Sniper with like 850 range or whatever it is. Did they have 5 ranged heroes? They actually did.
Yes.
Batrider is very short range,
Yeah.
though. But it's very difficult to place the Healing Ward in a satisfactory position. I don't think it played the biggest of roles, but at least it disallowed them from trying to look for pushes. And I mean, this is a game that Secret cannot afford to fall behind in. The moment they were falling behind, I was like, this game is pretty much over from the
yeah, the enemy has like VG have the even scarier late game, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They had, they had a really good opener too. Batrider and Sniper. I think those actually work really well against Secret because they have that jungle hero. It's like, okay, we're gonna rotate, take towers, put pressure on the lanes, and they were actually almost unable to do that. They took the bottom T1, but aside from that, they couldn't ever threaten towers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think Batrider is one of those heroes where, if you want to protect your safe lane, sometimes one support is just not enough. He just did way too much disturbance to the Lion and the safe lane Bristleback. He caused too much havoc, and not to mention in the fights, the lasso was just such a huge initiating tool.
That is true. Just one clarification because before we go into the brackets, remember when they say that Vici Gaming actually misclicked a pick at game 2?
Mhm.
Apparently, the clarification about that is that they wanted to ban Lycan and they ended up picking it, which is
Oh.
why. But it actually doesn't really make
What?
much sense because they were second pick, so
Yeah.
they picked the Lion and they picked the Lycan. Right, so it's like
Yeah.
it's the 2 picks in a row. So unless they thought they were first pick and they were just like first pick, it has the second pick and the second ban together. But it's just so weird.
Wait, they were second pick. So
They
they
were
see
second
the enemy
pick.
team
So
pick
yeah.
a hero, and they're like, now it's our turn to ban. They just
ban.
pick their first hero.
And they pick the Lion, and then
That
they're
doesn't
like,
make sense at all.
It doesn't make sense at all. But I do understand that without the Lycan, that lineup would have been much different. Maybe the Lycan was the thing that maybe lost in the game.
I didn't expect that opener. You don't let them get Axe and then pick a Lycan
Exactly,
into it. But
yeah.
at the same time, I was thinking, okay, maybe they don't want them to get Lion or Lycan and Axe. But I didn't.
Fair enough.
was
In any
strange.
case, the brackets now
Weird, dude.
look like
It is
this, with Vici Gaming at the winners. At the finals of the winners bracket. They're waiting for the winner of Evil Geniuses versus Big God, which is going to be our next match. And Team Secret fall down to the loser bracket, but they still have to wait a lot because there's Cloud9 versus eHome to be played, Navi versus HGT, and whoever wins from the winner of those two is going to be facing Secret. So Secret has a little bit of a break and time to study their opponents. Out of these 4 teams, do you think anyone can actually remove Secret from the tournament?
No.
Navi maybe. I don't. Yeah, probably no.
Navi is the greatest chance, but
Yeah, probably no.
eHome's been looking too weak.
I think the team that can remove Secret from the tournament until the, let's say, lower bracket final is Secret more than any other team. I think if they just rebuild their confidence, I don't think this is a devastating loss to them. They know this is the hardest team for them to go up against, so they might have had in the back of their heads. Of course, you go into the match and you're expecting to win, you do your best, but at the same time they can go back, they can analyze their replays, find their mistakes, and then go into the next games knowing that, okay, if we can play like we did in games 1 and 2, we will definitely be able to take these games. So I think as long as they don't start, which I really doubt they will with Puppy as a captain, he's extremely experienced, but unless they start overthinking things too much and start doubting themselves, they are the favorites until, I think the first team that has a chance of knocking them out are EG, in my opinion. That will be the real test until, and that would be the lower bracket final, right?
Whoa. You are like kind of jumping ahead of yourself
I'm
and
assuming
the Big God is
okay,
going to be
I would
EG.
say Big God / EG. Either of those two, actually,
Yeah,
will
that
be
would
the
be the
real
loser
test for
bracket
Secret.
final.
in the
I would
lower
say
bracket.
it's actually a lot different now because Vici has actually shown the weaknesses of their lineup. They've been running very predictable mid laners for RTZ. They've been picking Bristleback a lot. They've been running Jungle Chen or junglers in general, and Vici kind of sort of found a playstyle / draft that can actually cope with that, and other teams can copy their strategy.
Do you think they can play it well enough, though?
I mean, at least it's a solution rather
Yes,
than before
that's
it's like,
true.
oh
Yes.
crap, what do we do?
Someone already showed their weaknesses. Like even if you can't replicate 100%,
Yeah.
like even at 80 or 70, it shows the effectiveness of
Yeah.
the strategy.
Still, it's arguably the best team that figured them out and narrowly beat them in the first game. Got stomped in second game and then stomped in third game. So these two teams are evenly matched. And that's with Vici Gaming figuring Secret out. If the other teams figure them out or do the same thing, I think they fall short until EG/B.
Synderen, you play tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3.
Yeah.
That is correct. Did you find yourself having time to practice between, like, once the main tournament started?
Yeah, there is time for it. There's not that much time, though. And I
Okay.
actually think the more valuable thing than practicing is to watch games. I think when you go into the tournament, you have prepared as much as you could. And then what really happens is that there's a shift in metagame. And regardless of how well prepared you are, if something changes, your players just need to be able to adapt. We've seen it with the championship teams, or at least the ones playing really high. They're able to adapt during the tournament without much practice. They obviously don't go, they don't lose a match and then they go and practice for 2 days because they don't have 2 days.
Of course.
But if you have really good players, you can pick them the heroes they need to play. I think with the all-star lineup that a team like Secret have, they can pick heroes that they haven't even practiced and they can still perform. I think the number one storyline, which I do believe, I mean, he could be lying, right? But Dendi at TI1 was apparently put on Enigma for the first time ever in Dota 2 in the grand finals by Artstyle. Because they were like, we need an Enigma here. You need to play it in this lineup. He's like, okay. And then he was...
YOLO.
Puppy told this story, and I think it's in the free-to-play documentary, actually. Or no,
No, he's
not free-to-play. I think he might have said it in a TI interview at TI2 or something, where he was like, Dendi was actually so scared of making mistakes on Enigma that he played it perfectly, because he would just wait. He was so scared. I do not want to lose my team the game playing this hero for the first time in Dota 2. He had Dota 1 experience, of course, but he was just staying back, and then he was so patient that he played the game pretty much flawlessly on Enigma. So no one would believe him, right? It's like, I haven't played in Dota 2 before. Yeah, right.
Come on.
But, I mean, that's a world-class player who could do that. Because of that, I really believe in Secret reaching the lower bracket final.
Okay.
Or at least the semi.
You know, I think the major adjustment they probably want to make if they meet another strong opponent after would be just probably to delay Arteezy's hero. Because like one hero that I think that could work well in against VG's lineup would be Storm. But they couldn't adjust because they already picked Arthur's hero, so yeah, maybe delaying his hero would probably be a good idea.
Maybe, yeah, as you say, maybe it's
Pick someone else.
I think it's going to be important to see what happens in the lower bracket, because during the group stage, Shadowfiend was this very highly value picked. Most of the time, either picked in the first stage or banned. From what we've seen and the way Vici Gaming played, there seems to be a couple of heroes that do very well against Shadowfiend. So suddenly, if that hero doesn't become as important or as hot of a pick, they will become okay. We can just prioritize something else that is really good for now.
I think so.
And leave it be, because
he could have also just done a different build though. Like he could have just gone like a mech and tank build, like a lot of the Asian teams do.
But the thing that I was worried the most for him in that game, it was just like what Cinder mentioned. He had too much pressure in the lane because no one picked roaming Mirana in the there was only one game. Obviously IG only picked it and it worked out well for them. No one actually picked the Mirana because everyone was having like tanky mid heroes and kill potential very low, and now everyone's picking Shadowfiend. Shadowfiend is always very scared of early ganks, early rotations.
Yeah, that was the weakness of the hero for a long time, and that was why it wasn't picked. Sometimes the metagame is not only about the heroes that are really strong, but rather like what kind of heroes you get in each lane. We're going to go into a break now. When we come back, we will have the introduction to the second winner bracket game of the day, which is going to be Evil Geniuses versus Big God. Now, that's another pretty even match, I would want to say. I think most of us slightly favor Big God, but it has the potential to be as good as a match as the one that we've seen right now. So we're going to go into a break. We'll come back somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes whenever the players start getting ready, and we'll analyze that game, and then we'll have that. Who is going to be casting that match? I think it's you and Sansfan? I want to say I know, but I don't have I don't have the paper. In any case, someone is going to be.
It is. No, it's not. It's actually not.
It's actually
now
not.
I remember. It is Gods and Winter, I think.
Gods and Winter.
So, surprise.
Surprise.
It's you. Or it's Gods and Merlini.
No.
I think it's Gods.
I think I
it's
got
Winter.
the last game, didn't I?
It's definitely not me, trust
Okay.
me.
It's going to be a
That
great
much we
cast
know.
with whoever you guys get. So
Yes. Good luck. See
Don't
you
worry
in 5-10
about it.
minutes.